everyone, it's me Terry of the Yarn Joy Podcast. Welcome to Vlogmas 2025, day 29. How's everybody doing? I hope that you are having a great start to your week. Yesterday I put in the 28th scrap ball in my blanket here. Well, not 28 in here because this is the second one. You know, I made Happily Stained with the first 15. So this is scrap balls 16 through 28. Yeah. Anyway, let me show you. So it was this kind of a mustard yellow color. Yeah. So this is what it's looking like now. It's going to be a good lap blanket size, I think, lapgan. So yeah, it was that color, that mustardy yellow color. And I didn't get quite enough, let's see, maybe a round and a half. It stopped over here. So yeah, about a round and a half, something like that, out of that scrap ball. So today's scrap ball, number 29, and this is the scrap ball swap I'm doing with Terri, and I will link her information down below in the description box. So let's see what the next color is going to be. Oh, so it is a very light peach. Yeah, kind of a very light peach color. Yeah, so that will be going right on top of that. You can see that mustard yellow color. So I will be putting that in. So what did I work on today? Well, I worked a lot on the not Finish It Friday, the Blanket Bonanza project. I got some more rounds done. I think I'm at a good point to, I made good progress on it. Now I need to go back. I've got some ends to weave in. But I'm on like round 35, and I believe there's 56 rounds, I think. 50 something. Anyway, I will show you that tomorrow. Yeah, because you're seeing this on Monday, so you will see it in tomorrow's Finish It Friday video. Yeah, so yeah, I've made good progress. I think the last time I showed you last week, I was on round 20, so I've gone from 20 to 35. So I'm quite pleased with that. Actually, I think I'm going to finish this round because then it'll be a good stopping point, you know. So it'll probably be from round 20 to, yeah, the end of 35 that I'll show you tomorrow. Anyway, I was working on that. I also completed one of the owl squares for the little hoot owl blanket. You know, I had showed you before that I had the eyes, but I hadn't sewed them on yet. I still needed to make the beak. And so I did that, made the beak, and I sewed the eyes on. And so this is what my owl square is going to look like. Isn't that cute? Or this is what this one's looking like. They will have their eyes like in different positions. Yeah. So that will add real character, I think, to the blanket. So this is the size of the square. Let me measure it again. I was thinking when I measured it, it was about 5.5 inches. Yeah, 5.5 inches for one. So, yeah, there you go. So I will go ahead and work on the next square, which the one next to this one will just be a solid circle. I mean, just the circle turning into a square. I don't even think I have to do the surface crochet outlining. I don't think I have to do that. So it'll be a lot quicker. Of course, this would have been quick if I would have just finished it. I mean, I could have sat down and finished the whole, you know, all at once, but I didn't. Anyway, so I worked on that. And then another thing that I did today is I worked in my craft room. Yay! I didn't do a whole, well, I was going to say that I didn't do a whole lot, but I kind of did. So let me tell you about it. So this way, I have a closet, and in the closet is a dresser. Well, dresser? It's kind of a combo dresser, wardrobe type thing. It's a pretty big piece of furniture, and it sits right into the middle of the closet. really well. I have a closet that's not super deep, but it's wide, and it's got the bifold doors, you know, that sort of thing. You know, this house was built in the 70s, so, and actually that closet originally had these big sliding doors where, like, there was two sliding doors. Yeah, but they kind of overlapped. So in order to get on one side of the closet, you would slide the door open and it would go behind the other door. And so you could only see what was in there half of the closet at a time, because then to get on the other side of the closet, you'd have to slide them back and then slide the other one, you know, in front of that one. So it was, you know, so anyway, when we remodeled this room and turned it into my craft room, we took those doors off and we put accordion doors, so that way you can see the whole closet at once. Anyway, that wardrobe slash dresser can sits right into that closet with, you know, and the depth of it is perfect where I can close the doors. Anyway, so that piece of furniture has like 3 drawers, like half of it is drawers, okay, and then the top half opens up like a wardrobe, and there's some shelves in there, like a cabinet, okay. Well, in the cabinet part, it's divided into like 3 cubbies, and in 2 of them, I had plastic buckets, the containers, well, let me show you this one. Okay, so one of them was like this, and it was shoved in there, and then I had another one sitting on top of it, okay? And so that was actually 4, because it was in 2 of those cubby holes. Anyway, the containers were full of DK weight yarn and scraps, mostly leftovers, floppy skeins, some fuller type skeins. Anyway, in those containers, there was also all sizes, big ones and you know, like leftovers that I had rolled up into balls, and some of them were little balls, some of them were medium balls, and then there was like some floppy skeins and some that were practically full skeins. Anyway, they were just shoved into that cabinet with the door shut, and they've been in there. I mean, you know, I know they're in there, and I would go in there and get, you know, get yarn, DK weight yarn when I would need it out of there. But it wasn't something that I could just see all the time, you know? And so I was thinking, you know, I need to pull those out and put those somewhere where I will see that yarn. And I even thought I could add them to my cubby hole. Oh, I didn't bring my container in here, but my little cubby hole challenge, little pieces of paper. And so that's what I did. So today I sorted those 4 containers. Let me show you, okay? Actually, 5-ish. Anyway, let me show you. Okay. Oh, but I was going to say that the numbers that I had in the cubbyhole challenge container, which is in there on my desk, because I added to it. Anyway, it was 1 through 44. Well, those are the ones I've been picking out of for all these cubby holes back here. And so I just started numbering these. So I actually got 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. All right, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50. There's a 50. There's a number 50, yeah. Now I can't remember what it is. Anyway, let's get started and I'll show you. So number 45 is this container right here. Let me get it. So this was one of the containers. There was two of these brown ones. They were, and one stacked on top of each other. And they were full, like I said, with all different sizes of yarn. Well, this container is some full skeins and some pieces of skeins, but you know, like a good amount. Leftovers of mandala cakes that I have left over that I didn't use. Right there. Okay, so this is what this one has. This one's going to be container number 45. I'll put a number on it, that white right there. Okay, so this is number 45. Number 46 is very similar. It just pretty much has, you know, like pretty good size skeins. They're kind of floppy skeins. I mean, they've been used, but there's still quite a bit of it of it left in it, you know. So this is full. This was going to be number 46. Okay, let me put this up. Okay, now 47 is this size ball. Now they're not skeins. They're all rolled up into balls, but they're not little small like meatball size ones. You know, they're medium to medium small balls. Okay, so this is container number 47. And this is container 48. Okay, and then 48 is they're these things. You've probably seen them. This was like a Red Heart Super Saver, and it came like this, not Super Saver, but it was Red Heart. I think Red Heart. I don't have the label anymore, but they came like this. I got them at, I think, Ollie's, and they had like an amigurumi pattern that went with them. Like this one, I think, made some flamingos, and this one made a couple of unicorns. Yeah. Well, I have these two that I hadn't even taken apart yet. But then also, one of the times that Hobby Lobby had clearance yarns, they had these, let's see, I'll put some of the complete ones together. They were like 3-packs where they were wrapped together, I guess, in like a cardboard like wrapper thing, and they were like coordinating yarns together, and there was 3 of them. Well, I got several of them that were on clearance, so, and they were all DK weight yarn. So there, I mean, I've got some of them, I've used part of them, and some of them I haven't, but you know, they're all wrapped in this kind of donut way. And so this container right here is container number 48. So I divided all this up and sorted through it, you know, to get the size, similar sizes together. Okay, so that's 48. And then, so what I did is I have a cutting table on this side, and it was where I had a bunch of puzzles and things that had been given to me from different people. You know, I have some of the ladies at the Ladies Craft Day, they trade around puzzles, and they'll do the puzzles, jigsaw puzzles, and then they'll pass them on to whoever wants to use them, and we trade puzzles around. Well, I had a big stack of puzzles that I haven't done yet, and they were on that table over there. So what I did is I emptied that wardrobe where those buckets were, whatever, and I put the puzzles in there. And then on this table, maybe I'll take a picture. I'll take a picture and I'll show you, but it's not, you know, it's still messy in here. It's in progress, okay? So don't judge too much. But what I did is I put those containers on this table so I'll see them, you know? And like I said, I put numbers on them, so that way I added them to the cubbyhole challenge numbers. Yeah. Okay, so we were at 48. 49 is the smallest of the balls, and those were also in those containers in the bottom of them. They filled up 2 of these size containers that I have, and some of them are really small and some of them are bigger, but they're smaller than the ones that the other balls that I had. Those are like medium to medium small. These are like small, small and tiny. Anyway, I have 2 of those. Okay, so this is going to be number 49. Seems like I'm missing something because I put a number 50. I'll have to think about it again. But I put a number 50 on my paper because I remember I put it in the container. Now I'll have to go back and make sure I got the numbers right. But anyway, so one of the numbers is going to be the jars, okay? And these more than likely will be added to like what I was doing with this DK weight granny, where I was putting just small balls in there to make it a medley of colors instead of like self-striping. Yeah, so those little meatballs that will probably go into like something like that, or when I do when I do the Finish It Friday little amigurumi kits, you know, like the Charlie Brown that I made down there and the Star Wars ones. Sometimes I need a particular color and not very much because they're small, and I might be able to find them, you know, find it in here. So that was number 49, is the jars, and these hang over here on a pegboard. I've showed you it before, but I have a pegboard over here that my husband, let me get the top of it. Hang on. Okay, so I had these, they're hard plastic, really nice containers with lids. I think protein powder came in them, or PB2 powder, peanut butter powder. Anyway, I kept them because they're like heavy duty plastic and they were clear. I liked them. And so my husband got this is something you can get that goes on pegboards. You know, you can get the different shapes of hooks that go on pegboards. Well, he strapped them onto the lid of these, okay? I don't know how he did it, but he poked holes, and then he strapped them on with some wire, you know. And so that way, if you fill this up, you know, I put the lid on, and then I can hang it, you know, with this on my pegboard. Anyway, I've got a bunch of them. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. Yeah, I think that's all. Anyway, this one's empty. The rest have, yeah, I have some that have worsted weight little small balls, a couple of them. And I've got a couple that have ribbons in them rolled up and zippers. Yeah, 2 of them. Anyway, so yeah, number 49 is the jars. You know, something, if I pick number 49, then that's these 2 that I'll make something out of, you know, for the cubby hole challenge. And then number 50, what is number 50? It might be my worsted weight scraps, because I have a big container underneath this desk. A bin, not a container, like a bin. Let me pull it out. Let me pull it out. Ugh. See? Full of worsted weight scraps. A lot of this is neutral colors for some reason. Anyway, this is worsted weight. Put that back under there. Now I can't do it. This blanket's in the way. Not blanket. I have a cover that I have on the table. Oh, some of it fell out. I'll have to fix it in a minute. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. So that's what I did today. I organized the DK scraps and I put them on this table so then I will see the bins. Okay. And yeah, I'll pop in a picture. Here's the picture. So there's a picture of that table to my right that's got the bins on it that you can see. So that way I thought, well, if they're not out of sight, out of mind quite as much, you know, because I really need to use that yarn. I hate to throw away yarn. I've mentioned this before, but it's like if I throw the yarn away, I'll hurt its feelings. That's silly. But now, I mean, I do throw away, you know, the snippets and stuff. I don't really use them for stuffing that much. But, you know, it just makes me feel good to use up a ball of yarn. So, yeah, that's silly. Anyway, I really need to, you know, work down this. It's like part of my goals for this next year, which I'll talk more about that on New Year's Day. But, yeah, that's what I did today. I've still got a lot of cleaning up in here, but I'm very happy that I was able to go through those bins, separate the stuff out by size, and then, you know, move those puzzles that were just sitting on the table there, and I put them in that cabinet. And yeah, I like that much better, I think. So that's what I did today. What else did I do today? Yeah, worked on the Blanket Bonanza project, which I already talked about. And I made meatloaf and baked potatoes for lunch. We hadn't had a baked potato in a long time, so my husband and I baked a potato for the both of it, you know, each of us, little ones. And then I made some meatloaf, which is one of his favorite meals, is meatloaf. So, and we had broccoli. It had to have something green. And so we had that for lunch, and that's about it. Yeah. So, yeah, Let me know down in the description, no, in the comment section down below what you're working on. Are you cleaning your craft room up? I'm trying to do that just kind of, I like to do it like every maybe 6 months or so and just have like do like a reset, you know, because this craft room can really get messed up bad. So I'm going to be working on this tomorrow some more. This evening, it's later in the evening, so I'm going to go in there, fix me a coffee, and put my feet up, and yeah, put the scrap ball in. And then I have one more color, which is tomorrow's color, day 30. Plus, I have one more package to open for tomorrow. And then that will end Vlogmas. Well, that's day 30. And then on New Year's Eve, day 31, there, of course, will not be a scrap ball because I'll just reveal the finished blanket. And then we will go over the my 2025 New Year's goals that I had and see how I did on them. Yeah. Oh, I did work on my Disney calendar that I showed you in a while back when I bought the calendar, and I had ordered it from Amazon. And I believe there's a couple of you that actually said they ordered it as well. So a little tip, I started writing in it to kind of prepare, you know, this next year. And for some reason, when you would write on a page and then you turn the page, you could see what you wrote on the next page faintly, but it's not like it bled through. I was using a ballpoint pen, so it did not bleed through because they have thick pages, so it didn't do that. But do you remember, this is dating me, but do you remember the carbon copy sheets that people used to use, and they would put it between pieces of paper, and then they would use it in a typewriter? I remember doing that. And also, just if you were writing something, and that's how you made a copy of something, is you put that carbon copy. Well, it's kind of like that. It kind of did that sort of thing, where it transferred from the Disney picture from the under the other page. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Well, I don't know why it did that. Anyway, so my solution is I'm going to get, and I've got some, this is just this was an envelope from one of my Christmas cards, but I'll use something, you know, like I have some light weight cardboard over here on that side that I have to dig for. But anyway, I'm just going to probably use that, and I'll put that underneath the sheet that I'm going to be working on, so that way that doesn't, I want to say bleed through, but it's not bleeding through. It's kind of weird. It's not bad, but that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, heads up if any of you bought it and hasn't written in it yet. It's still going to be a beautiful planner. I love it. It's just kind of weird that it does that. That's okay. Okay, now I'm going to go because I've just been chattering, haven't I? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I need to work on the Finish It Friday. I haven't worked on it since I showed you my progress. Yeah, I haven't. So I need to pull that out. I think I'm going to finish the round on my blanket bonanza that I'm working on right now. I'll just go ahead and finish that round and then stop, or maybe weave the ends in. And then I'll stop with that. And then I'll pick up the Finish It Friday and get some progress done on that one. Plus, of course, I got to put my scrap ball in. Okay, I'm going to go. Come back tomorrow and we will have a visit twice. We will have a visit for Vlogmas Day 30. And we will also have a visit for Blanket Bonanza. Yeah, I'll show you how I'm doing on that pretty princess blanket. Okay, see you tomorrow in the next video. Bye.